Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
The Northern California PGA puts on this player-teacher forum every year, and boy, I tell you, the talent just gets better and better. Randy Smith, you just wowed him there for about 3 hours, and that's got to be fun to come across country and kind of tell people what you're thinking in Dallas. Huh?
Well, it was a lot of fun. I don't know about wowing. I haven't wowed much anything in a long time, but
you got them involved. Let's put it that way.
I baffled them with my footwork.
There you go.
But no, it's a serious thing because the way that we instruct players and the way it's not all about the best player in the world. It's really about the people who want to have more fun and play golf and enjoy it. And if we can get our teaching to a point where we develop the relationships and make it more fun for players to maybe hit a little different shot than they've hit in the past. They all don't have to go scratch, but just enjoy the game more. I think it's a benefit, and it was neat to hear the response from the Northern California section.
And you talked about that a lot during your presentation, and from my point of view, that's really what's so important is to keep remembering that it's a game, and that word fun that we lose when we start talking about swing playing and things that you were kind of poo-pooing there.
Well, I love it when you've got a college players working on swing playing. We're going to work on it and do things like that. But not everybody's a college player. Not everybody's a tour professional. There's a lot of players that just want to see something different and maybe see a bit of a different result, and their goals might not be quite as high as some other people. And to approach it from a standpoint that you keep the fun and the developing of relationships involved, I think is very important.
It seems to me that the game of golf, as you get better, it's tough to see results sometimes because they're minimal. So how do you maintain the fun while that's happening?
Well, if you deal with instruction, you have to keep it upbeat, and you have to make sure that what the player wants, they can see a light at the end of the tunnel, and hit some shots. Get them to hit some shots that show that they can do it. And as long as you keep a good personal relationship and you push the envelope the direction they want to go, normally it's going to work out fine. And then occasionally they can walk from that practice tee where we know it's a totally different game on the practice tee than on the golf course. Yeah. But you see 2 or 3 shots that may look like what was on the range, and you build on that. That's when a player takes off and gets better.
I like one of the other things you said about making a connection. You said even if the lesson wasn't as good as it could have been, as long as you're making a connection with that student, then you've got something important going on.
Well, you do, and as a business, you don't want to send a whole bunch of people out into the public that are not big supporters of what you're doing.
When you play the game in Dallas, and you play the game in California, and you play the game in Missouri, the game is the same. Do people approach the game differently from different parts of the country? Are we all, because we play the game different times of the year? Do you see difference in students as you move around, I guess?
Yeah, you do. You see students that maybe in a different climate are able to do things on a 12-month period. You go up in the Northeast, and as we've seen in recent days in the middle of the country where it's pretty doggone cold, they may only have 6 months of true enjoyment of the game. So yeah, you would approach some of that differently. Even back in Texas, it's cold as the devil there right now, but you could still work some outside. What would you work on? Work on the short game, work on some putting and chipping, and do things and do it over 12-month periods. You can be on more of an accelerated program than maybe some of the people up in the Northeast.
You talk about the short game. Have we kind of established ourselves as a society that just wants to hit the ball farther, but do you think maybe the teaching of golf should start more at the short game because it's so important?
Should it? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it works.
No.
Because, there's something real important in golf. It's called your ego. And you're playing with somebody else. They don't go away. Gosh, he's such a great putter. Yeah. You don't hear that very often. Oh, did you see his bump and run shot? No. It's about hitting the ball further. And it's very difficult to kind of do anything, but you've got to kind of address that. But if you know what you're doing and you stay with it a little bit, now that you got to feel a little bit more power, let's use that power to bring it down all the way through the clubs back to the short game and use what you know to score better if that's what you're in this for, instead of just hitting it a long way.
So you've got a new student, and obviously you develop a relationship and you develop a little bond there. Every student is going to be different as to what they want in the end run, but from your point of view, what do you want that student to get out of that lesson?
Well, I want them to satisfy what their want is. A lot of times we have to guide what they really do want. Consistency. Consistently what Just be more, okay, what do you really want to do? He says, this slice is killing me. I've been slicing the ball for 20 years. I want to stop. Would that make you feel better instead of being the world to me? And that's where we're going. And we do with that until it goes this way, and then after that, find a way to use it in the rest of his clubs, and develop a relationship.
You know, I think about all of the teachers that we have here with the forum, and all of the many great teachers that you mentioned, and everybody has their own kind of philosophy, I guess, of the golf swing, but you seem to be kind of bringing it down to more of that human contact, and obviously the mechanics are important, but it's about reaching that point where you say, yeah, that was good.
Well, I think for this, especially the group here, I think that is important. Now, granted, I'm sure people would want to see how I work with a tour player. That's a whole new ballgame.
Sure.
And it's a lot of fun to talk on that subject of working with the best players in the world, which I've been very fortunate, to work with some marvelous, marvelous players. And that's different. It's a little bit different animal. And for these people right here that are in that room that are teaching, I'm fortunate to teach 6, 7 of those guys. But 1% make up that amount of players that are tour players. And so if you do something that makes the game kind of grow from underneath, like get in with the masses, get them happier. I'll be working tomorrow with 2 tour players. But if I can do it in the meantime, doing the same thing and shift gears and do the right thing by the people that come to me because they want guidance, then I think I might have helped grow the game.
Anybody that watches that's a golfer is going to understand this, but maybe a golfer that, somebody that hasn't played yet and they still get this trepidation, what do you say to that person about how to draw them into the game, how to look for a lesson?
Well, you don't have to look too far. You do a little bit of research, find somebody that can get you started, somebody that may be known within the community of starting players, beginner golfers, getting them going, getting them excited. Word's out there. All they got to do is keep their ears open. Heck, call your local section. Call the people in the Northern California section and say, we need somebody, I want to start playing golf. And, well, I've got a list of, okay, where do you live? Really? And you're in this area? Okay, boom, 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 boom. I've got 3 choices. This guy's this guy's this gal is this. They're all wonderful choices. Who do you feel the most comfortable with? We'll even make the call for you.
Wow.
So why not?
Bring them in.
Yeah, make it easy.
You talked about a couple of personalities that are just legends in the game, Harvey Penick and Byron Nelson, and it's got to feel good to have had some kind of relationship with them, huh?
Yeah, it really is, because both of them, just pillars of the game that we enjoy now, and of instruction. Harvey Penick, obviously, my goodness, it speaks for itself. But Mr. Nelson, most people remember, Mr. Nelson from playing the game and all the tournaments he won in a row and all those things. But having seen him looking at a golf swing or into the student and the golf swing at the same time and make a diagnosis so crystal clear, and see the student immediately go, oh my gosh, how do I start doing that? That's not the way I do things. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Tom Watson will tell you that right off the bat.
Ken Venturi had a great story about Byron Nelson watching his game, and he shot 68, and he's thinking, what's this guy going to tell me? And Mr. Nelson told him, he says, I'll see you on the first tee tomorrow. I think there's 10 things we need to work on.
I think that's greatness there. That's beautiful. Great man. Great man.
And you are too. Randy Smith from the Northern California PGA Teaching Forum. You want to see him? Got to go to Dallas.
Well, that's where I am.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you, Frank.